Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Burn, Nick, and with me, as always...
Merry Christmas from Gator.
God, it's Santa Gator. Lord. Anyway.
Santa Gator. Da-da-da-da.
So today...
Oh, we have a list.
We do have a bit of a list. We are going to discuss the Cigar Aficionado Top 25. Now, there's a lot of top cigar lists that come out about this time. I know that Cigar Journal had their list. I know a lot of websites do lists. We don't do a list.
No.
Not really.
I've got my list. I know my top 5.
Well, yeah. I mean, exactly.
Yeah.
But, and I think, and I'll say this. Maybe we should do that here coming up soon.
Do you want to do that?
We keep threatening that.
We do. We have threatened that repeatedly.
Here's what I think we ought to do. So the last episode of the year will actually hit on Tuesday, December 31st.
Oh.
That episode, we are going to be smoking a Perdomo Champagne Sun Grown.
Because we've saved it from the My Monthly Cigar box.
We have saved it from the My Monthly Cigars box because we wanted to have a little champagne on New Year's. I think, given that, I think that would be an appropriate episode for us to trot out our 2019 top 5.
Per, not merged. Not merged and purged.
Per. Your top 5 and then my top 5.
So essentially 10.
Precisely.
Unless we overlap. Which we're not going to overlap.
At most, top 10.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, we're probably not going to overlap.
No.
We might.
It could happen.
It is possible.
My problem is I've got my 4, and I'm still iffy on my 5th. And I know there have been a couple that we've smoked that I've said, that's probably going to make it in there. But
none of them have stuck with you enough to be able to say for sure, yes, that's
I have
the
4
one.
right now, and I have a possible 5th, but it doubles up with another one of the cigars. So I have 2 from the same company.
Well, that's not necessarily the end of the world.
No.
But, okay. Well, anyway, Today
there is an actual official, scientific list.
Published, we'll see how scientific.
Yeah.
But we are going to be smoking.
These people have put in the man hours.
They have put in some time, so I will give them credit for that. So we are going to be smoking the Cigar of the Year, according to Cigar Aficionado. Now, I will put a caveat that we are smoking a different size.
Yep.
So for what it's worth, we're doing a different size. But we are going to be smoking the Aging Room Quattro Nicaragua. Now, they named the Nicaragua Maestro as the Cigar of the Year. The Maestro is a 6-inch by 52 ring gauge cigar.
Now, that is also a torpedo, if I'm not mistaken.
Precisely.
Yep.
Now, we, on the other hand, are going to be smoking the Espressivo, which is a 5 by 50.
So, technically, that would also be a Robusto.
Yeah, I mean, most Robustos are 5 by 50, so yes.
Even though it's kind of, it has a bit of a box press to it, I believe.
It is kind of box pressed, yes. Yep. So, this cigar, the filler, binder, and wrapper are all Nicaraguan. It is made by AJ Fernandez.
It's hard to go wrong there.
Exactly. But Aging Room is actually, it's Rafael Nodal. So, Rafael Nodal needs to be credited with this, but this cigar, I guess, is manufactured and made by Aging Room Quattro, made by AJ Fernandez in Nicaragua. So it's kind of a partnership, kind of
collaborative effort,
precisely. But so it's Rafael Nodal, and congratulations to Rafael Nodal and Aging Room for achieving the Cigar of the Year 2019.
That's awesome. Let me get mine out of the cellophane.
I also, evidently, need to as well. I'm just going to do it a little more quietly than Jeff.
Or are you? That might be you making the noise.
It's not me making the noise.
Okay, there we go. Got it.
You jerk. Anyway. So.
Ooh. Oh, that smells nice. You know what it smells like?
What does it smell like?
Cigar.
There you go.
Never gets old.
It does. But then again, I did rip it off last episode.
You did rip it off last episode.
Whatever.
That's my line.
I guess I can't. I don't want to hear it from you about stepping on lines here lately.
Stay smoky.
Yeah, exactly. So.
I get such a little fun in life. Oh, that's a nice clean cut. Did you do a cold draw? You want to puff on mine for a second?
No, I did not do a cold draw.
It's sweet. It's almost sweet on the cold draw.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll tell you, on initial puffs,
Yeah.
I'm not getting sweet at all.
I'm just saying on the cold draw. Still getting it on the cold draw.
Yeah, initial puff wise, this is spicy, man.
Oh, that's good. It's spice, but it's not peppery to me. Almost like nutmeg, cinnamon. I'm still getting that sweet spice taste out of it.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I wouldn't say that it's. Yeah, I don't know if I'd go with spicy in terms of like pepper, but it's
I'm going for a retro hail.
But it is definitely giving the palate a little bit of tingles.
Ooh, dude, try the retro hail. So much more pops out. Can you do this without dying?
Probably not.
Come on, give it a shot. Take one for the team. This is for the listeners.
Huh.
That really brings out the flavor, doesn't it?
Boy, there's almost like a chocolate component.
Yes.
There's almost like a weird...
That's that sweet...
kind of chocolate and...
nutmeggy spice that I'm tasting.
Kind of chocolate and, nutmeggy...
Isn't that weird how that changed on the retro hail?
You know what? I don't... Nutmeg... Yeah, maybe nutmeg. Man. Okay, I'll give you that. I mean, it was worth the cough into the mic, I guess. But, yeah. So...
Yeah, because that really draws it out.
Huh. Well, anyway, so we're going to start at 25 and work our way back
to the cigar we're smoking. Yeah.
So we're going to kind of blow through these because, quite frankly, there's an awful lot of them. I'm
going to give you $100 if you pronounce every one of these correctly.
Well, I'm going to lose because I've already looked at the list and there's at least 2 that I can tell you right off the bat.
So, are there any Gurkhas on the list?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
It's a valid list, then.
It's a valid list. They did make Cigar Journal's list, believe it or not. I'm wanting to say they got, like, the number 7 cigar on, like, Cigar Journal's list.
Really?
I was a little surprised.
I know we crap on them a lot. And really, my only real experience with Gurkha is that damn Royal Challenge. And the challenge was getting through one of them. Yeah. But at some point, we're going to start getting the cease and desist letters. But... Maybe we should try that Gurkha and see if it changes our opinion.
That's an interesting thought, and maybe that's something we ought to consider for the new year, is maybe we need to find a quote-unquote high-ranked or high-reviewed Gurkha.
An actual good Gurkha.
An actual good Gurkha, and give it an honest effort.
You know what? I'm in.
The question is, can I be fair?
The question is, can we actually find a good one?
Oh, there's enough. I like it. Well, we'll find that one that made Cigar Journal's list.
Fair enough. I'm in. I want to do it.
We'll try it.
We're going to do it, and I hope we eat our words, and I hope it's a great cigar.
We'll see.
Because we dog on those poor guys all the time.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
So coming in at number 25 is the Herrera Esteli Miami Toro Especial. So that's it's a Drew Estates cigar.
Interesting. I've never had that one.
I haven't either.
I'm wondering how many I'm actually going to have had on this list.
I will say, typically with me, what ends up happening with the Cigar Aficionado Top 25, and I had to do it last year, which admittedly was the first year I actually cared.
Because I got the monkey on your back with smoking cigars.
It's true. So what I end up doing is finding out what the list is, and then over the course of the following year, so over the course of 2020, I'll go back and try a lot of the ones that were on the 2019 list, just due to the fact that, you can only do so much. And now
that should be one of our resolutions for the new year, is that we take at least the other 9 in the top 10 and pepper those in through the year.
Here's going to be your problem with that, bud.
Uh-oh.
Cigar Aficionado does not discriminate against Cuban cigars, so they will include Cubans on the list.
Well, we're going to have to go.
Additionally, there are like small batch type things, like event cigars, ones that you can only get like at specific events.
Oh, that's going to be a problem.
So yeah, that's going to be a big problem.
Yeah, I mean, I got no problem with storming the beach in Cuba.
It didn't end well for the Americans the last time we tried that.
Well, technically, we weren't there. That was the problem.
That
was the Bay of Pigs.
Not there.
we let all them go in, but then the air cover didn't show up.
Valid point.
Thank you, President Kennedy.
So, 24, we have the Alec Bradley Project 40, 652. And
I do like an Alec Bradley from time to time.
I've had a few Alec Bradleys, and they're not bad. 23, we have the EP Carrillo Core Plus Maduro Churchill Espressivo number 7.
Ooh.
I have not had that one, but I do like EP Carrillo.
Yep.
And they were the top cigar last year. Number 22 is the Room 101 Farce. It's a Lonsdale. I'm nowhere near familiar with that one.
Never heard of that, yeah.
Can't say as I've heard of that one. This is where you and I show off just how little cigar knowledge we actually
have. We're really just two dumbasses smoking a cigar talking.
That's what I keep telling everybody, but they think we're experts.
But that's far from it.
Number 21, you have the Hoya Silver Corona.
Ooh.
Again, I haven't smoked it, so I can't say anything about it. Number 20, this is going to be the first one that I butcher. You have the La Antigüedad Toro Gordo.
Okay.
Number 19 is the Enclave Broadleaf Churchill. I believe that is an AJ Fernandez.
Okay. Good company.
That is. Hang on a second.
We're going to dive deeper.
That is an AJ Fernandez. So
there you go.
So that at least kind of gives a little there. Number 18. I haven't had this one. Number 18, you and I have recently had.
What is it?
It's the Aladino Toro.
Ooh.
So that's our friends over at JRE Tobacco.
Yep.
And this is good. Aladino deserved to be on the list.
We had an interview there with them.
We did have an interview with Justo. And so congratulations to Justo and Julio and all the fine folks over at JRE.
Did I ever tell you I met his dad down by the schoolyard?
You did in that episode. Okay. You've used that joke already. You're also showing your...
Never gets old.
You're also showing your age quoting that song. But hey,
me and Julio down by the schoolyard. Yeah. Who sang that?
Young.
Huh?
Was it Neil Young?
No.
Isn't it the guy who was like, you can call me Al?
Yeah, that's not Neil Young.
Who was that? Why do I know? It was
Paul Simon?
Paul Simon. Sorry. I was like, well, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young were in my head, and I came close.
Yeah.
I got one of them.
Yeah.
Just the wrong one.
Paul Simon's not in Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. He's in Simon and Garfunkel.
Oh, fuck. I'm way wrong.
It took me a second, like, what the
Wait a minute. I am way wrong. Oh, my God. Well,
that was great.
And the worst part is, I don't know how to edit that out, so I'm just going to probably end up looking like a dumbass. So,
yeah, well.
Anyway, number 17, you have the Hoyo de Monterrey, La Hoyo de Rio Seco. Okay.
Okay, then.
Number 16, I've had this cigar. It is the Punch Diablo Scamp.
The Punch Diablo
Scamp.
I do like Punch.
Punch Diablo. It's a good cigar. It is a little spicier. Obviously, Diablo. They actually named it properly. Psycho. Anyway.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Well, there's another cigar company that will never advertise with us. So
that's okay. They had to lay off everybody but 3 employees. So to be honest, I don't know how much longer they're going to be around anyway.
Is that common knowledge? Because I think you just outed it.
No, that's way common
knowledge.
Is it okay?
Now, I want to say this. I'm going to give a shout-out to our buddies over at Cigar Talk.
Okay.
Because they were discussing the Punch the other day on an episode I listened to, and they were talking about how it's like, well, I like Punch, and I don't know, like, I'll smoke a Punch, and I don't know why is this not in the rotation? And I'm the same way with Punch. I overlook Punch, and I shouldn't because it's a damn good brand.
It's funny that you say that. When I went to the store to buy these aging room, I ended up buying two Punches as well. And it's the same thing. I saw it, and I was like, ooh, I like that cigar. So I bought 2 of them. And I don't remember which Punch it was, but it's the same deal, man. It's like I really like it, but for some reason I smoke the ones I buy, and then I'll go months and months and months without having one.
Yep.
And then I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, I like that, and I buy it again.
Yep.
So I don't know why, but
But I'm in the same boat because I become a creature of habit.
Yeah.
Which, again, we've talked about a lot. But the fact that we're doing this podcast has really opened my palate up to a lot of new choices.
Well, good. So
I'm not going to lie. The 1974, which will be on my top 5, I would have never smoked that because I can't find it in St. Louis.
I know, and you're struggling.
I am struggling because I want
it
those
to a couple places
to at least 2 specific cigar stores.
Both of them are having issues, getting it for you. So
Corey Frisbee, it's your time to shine, buddy.
Dang it, Corey, step up to the plate, man. So anyway, at number 15, you have the La Aroma de Cuba Mi Amor Churchill.
I think I've actually had. I've had that brand.
You've had that brand.
Yes,
I don't
I've had
know
that
if
brand.
you've had that cigar, but
no, I don't. I'm not. I can't say that.
You just recently had that brand.
I did.
Yeah,
actually.
Number 14 was the.
You know what? I think I got that down at the Cigar Barn in Paducah, Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken.
Quite possibly.
I think that's where I got that.
So number 14, we have the Juan Lopez Selección number 2.
Never had that.
Number 13, Plasencia Alma de Fuego Concepcion. I've had some Plasencia cigars here lately.
Have you?
Not that one, but Plasencia puts out some good stuff. And
I'm not that familiar.
I'm pretty sure, and I'm wrong, but I think the Hill Cigar Company carries that Plasencia, so I may have to look for that.
There you go.
Number 12, you have La Flor Dominicana Double Ligero Lancero.
Always a good choice.
Yeah, I like La Flor Dominicana.
I do. I actually do. I really like them.
Number 11, we have the Espinosa Habano number 4. Now we're getting into the top 10.
You know, I think we should stop there. And hold the top 10 for the second half of the broadcast around our interview that we have.
Sounds like a good idea.
I think we should do that.
So, I recently sat down and spoke with a young lady who I initially met through Instagram, and I did end up meeting her in person at the Kentucky Barn Smoker, and her name is Jamie Stevens. She goes by Cigar Eyes 717 on Instagram. And Jamie puts up many photos, a lot of selfies with cigars and that sort of thing. And she talks about the cigars, and I know she knows her stuff.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, she puts up a photo, and it's very, very rare, but a photo that is perhaps a bit
suggestive.
Could be construed as such.
Yes.
And so I got talking to her about...
Which, that's something odd on Instagram.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, there's many other accounts that I could name but won't name because I don't want to be mean that are way, way, way worse than she ever will be. And so I took the opportunity to talk with her a little bit about, so when you put up a post like that, what reaction does that get? And we had a long conversation about it. And so I figured it would be good to kind of translate some of that to the podcast and kind of talk to her and bring some of this to you guys and kind of let you know, what your Sisters of the Leaf are facing when they're going on, these social media platforms, putting out photos and that sort of thing. Because, dude, she gets like disgusting photos and all sorts of...
You go into that.
We go into that, and she gets all kinds of stuff on a daily basis.
That's crazy.
And let me tell you, she's not putting out, suggestive or racy pictures every day. I mean, at most, she might put out a picture of just, her sitting and smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
But just being a woman smoking a cigar apparently, allows some of these savages to send her God knows what. But you
and I have talked about that because any woman that's smoking a cigar goes up 2 or 3 points. There is just something very attractive about a woman smoking a cigar. Mm-hmm. There just is. So when you top that on someone with an Instagram account that's doing some cigar influencing, like we're attempting to do with our podcast, nobody wants to look at you and me smoking a cigar.
And admittedly,
let's be honest.
somebody, she's not an unattractive woman either.
Heavens
so
no.
I mean, so that it's one of those things. It all adds up and results in internet deviants that just want to. I mean, dude, some of the stuff that she's got, and she did not. She was very nice. She didn't go into any sort of intricate detail. But dude, let me tell you, she told me some of the stuff she gets, and
let's dive into it, listen to it, and then we'll come back and we'll finish up with our top 10 here from Cigar Aficionado.
We will. So this is my talk with Jamie Stevens. Well, I am joined by Jamie Stevens, or as she goes on Instagram, Cigar Eyes 717. How are you, Jamie?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So Jamie and I met at the Drew Estates Kentucky Bar and Smoke, and we follow each other on Instagram. So Jamie has a little bit going on right now, so I invited her to come on, and we actually got in an interesting conversation about Instagram that I kind of wanted to carry over and bring onto the podcast a little bit. But before we get into that, how did you get into cigars, Jamie?
Well, it actually started when I was a kid. I grew up seeing my dad smoke cigars on like family events, social activities, and him and my godfather would smoke together during these events. And honestly, it was just listening to them battle over which cigar was better than the other. This would go on for hours during like our family activities. And I would watch them and I would, kind of listen in and out. And I was like, well, there must be something really, interesting about cigars if they're going to debate for hours at a time at these events.
Yeah.
So I watched this and watched this up until my dad passed away. Then it kind of faded off a little bit. And I spent more time with my godfather, and he, was smoking cigars. And I said, hey, can I try one? And it just kind of went from there. Uh, Started around, I guess, 22. I was when I started smoking, my early 20s. I smoked cigarettes before that, but I got over that quick, which was good.
Yeah.
And started smoking cigars, and it just kind of went from there.
Very cool. So what are you smoking now, and what are you like? How's your palate go? Like where do you like to go with cigars?
Well, it's funny. Everybody says always about, what's your palate? What do you like? It honestly depends on my mood.
Yeah.
For the day. Sometimes I want to go really bold and have those strong flavors, and then sometimes I just need to step back, just to chill out a little bit. I like to go for more of like the nuttier type cigars. The heavy pepper I try to stay away from. But it's funny I say that because some of my favorites tend to go more on that side anyway. So honestly, it just kind of depends on what I'm doing, what mood I'm in, and a lot of times how much time I have. That's funny enough.
That's true too. So what are you smoking? Like, what's in the rotation right now? What kind of stuff are you smoking?
Rotation right now. I can't get enough of the Kentucky Fire Cured by Drew Estate.
Okay.
It is always in my rotation. I love it.
You are a Drew Estate girl. I can tell that.
I love. You know what? I am, and the reason why is because they're so eclectic. There is something for every mood or every palate I have. There's something for it. So I really enjoy that. I can look at their collection and say, oh, I can have this one on this day. And in the morning, I'll have one of these. And I can just like deviate out throughout the week. Also a big fan of Camacho, especially lately, the American Barrel Aged. I'm a big fan of that right now. And of course, I got to go with the Opus X. I love it.
Oh, good.
It's my favorite.
I'll tell you, if you like the nutty kind of flavors, the one that it's my number one go-to, everybody hears me talk about it all the time, is the Perdomo, the Champagne, the 10th Anniversary
I love
Reserve.
That.
It's got that
so
creamy nuttiness to
it
and
it
everything.
Does.
So yeah.
It's so smooth too.
It is.
Like throughout the entire thing.
Exactly. So, all right. Well, you've been there, so that's good. So
yeah.
Well, fun. So one of the things that Jamie and I were talking about on Instagram that I wanted to bring to the podcast, and I've kind of been toying with how do we touch on some of these subjects prior, and you kind of gave me a little bit of an in with that door, is Instagram etiquette as it pertains to some of our Sisters of the Leaf.
Yes.
Because there are a few accounts, I would not lump yours in with those. There are a few accounts, though, that I think they really amp up the sex in order to um, gather followers and likes and that sort of thing. And then they add in that element of cigars to their account to really like hone in on what is, I think, safe to say, a predominantly male fan base. Now, granted, and I'm talking about cigars with the fan base, granted, with a growing female element to it and a significant female element to it. But I'd still say, at least looking at the statistics for my account, I mean, we're like, my fan base is like 85% male. So I think it's safe to say that a lot of the people following cigar related accounts are probably men. And so it seems like there's some of these accounts that are, like I said, really amping up the suggestive sexual side of things. Now, you don't do that. I want to make this very clear. I don't think Jamie does that. There's perhaps maybe only been like 2 or 3 posts that maybe at most somebody could make that argument for. But in the grand scheme of things, they're nothing like some of the other accounts that I could list off the top of my head. I won't list them off because I don't want to insult anybody and whatever. But there are other accounts that I could definitely name off. But with all this being said, I got to talking with Jamie about messages and feedback and comments and things of that nature that she's received from people. And dude, some of you guys are savages. I mean, just straight up savages that don't understand how to be interacting with people, much less women. So, Jamie and I thought it would be a good idea to kind of come on and talk about a little Instagram etiquette.
That is correct. It's funny we talk about this because you would think it would be common sense. That, what you do and do not say to someone, especially you do not know. Now, granted, we are on social media, so we're going to get a variety of feedback, good or bad. But there's a way to be respectful about it. That's the difference. I love cigars. That's why I post about them. That's why I take those pictures. But I also have a family element to my Instagram. I post pictures of my son on there.
Yes.
I post pictures of my work on there. I post a variety of different things. Now, is cigars the prominent thing? Yes, because honestly, it's one of the things I love most. It's one of my, favorite hobbies. So, of course, I have that on there. But I try to bring a family atmosphere to my page so that people can get to know Jamie a little bit, not just cigar eyes, but Jamie. So I get quite surprised with some of the messages and comments I receive because honestly, it's just a little like, wow, like it's almost like a shock factor of you don't know me. You know what you see on my Instagram, but why would you send me these type of messages? Why would you post these type of comments? It's a little shocking. Well, honestly.
So I'm not going to ask you necessarily to read off any messages, but some of the things that you've kind of expressed to me in the past, you've had people make proposals of like a sugar daddy, sugar baby relationship.
Yes, I have.
You've had all variety of sexual, both innuendo and just straight up solicitations.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I mean, and you've also received your fair share of rather incriminating photographs of some of the members of Instagram, correct?
I have. And honestly, this happens almost daily.
Really?
At this point, this happens almost daily. Now, I'm one of those, if you take the time to message me and you said, hi, I love that you smoke cigars. What's your favorite? Or, I like your last picture. I'm going to comment back. I'm going to message you back and say, thank you. How are you? Because that's me.
Yeah.
If you're taking the time to message me, I'm going to message you back. Now, if you're going to message me something like that, I'm not going to message you back. That's going to be a block and done. Like, I don't tolerate that type of behavior.
And that's my point. You shouldn't have to even be dealing with this type of behavior, much less even having to consider whether or not to tolerate it.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And
I
and
mean,
so guys, what the hell? I would hope that anybody listening to this show would not find themselves in a situation where they're even considering something like this, but I'm blown away by the fact that this is such a thing.
I am too, honestly.
But
It does surprise me. Um, I would hope for better. Honestly, I hope better. Um, if we want to have a friendship, conversation about love of cigars, and even if you want to give me a compliment, that's nice. I don't mind that. That's fine. I'll always say thank you. But the other stuff is just it's not appropriate. It's not needed.
have you considered, like, and I'm not asking this because I think you should, but like, has some of the reaction that you've received from people about maybe some of your photos, has it prompted you to reconsider maybe the way, or kind of the content that you put out there on your Instagram, or even considered getting off of, the platform? And what I mean by that is, like, for example, sometimes you'll put out a picture of you smoking a cigar, where and it's like a selfie or something like that.
Hmm.
Whereas maybe instead of putting out a picture of you smoking the cigar, maybe you just put out a picture of just the cigar, maybe sitting on the table, and you're saying, "This is what I'm smoking right now." Have you considered, something like that as a result of any of this?
Of course. I mean, you start to get thinking about what am I doing, not wrong, but what am I doing that's inappropriate? And a lot of my posts, I try to do two pictures in one.
Yeah.
I'll do like a selfie and then I'll do of the cigar by itself. That way it has both of them in it. So it's not just a picture of my face um, in the picture. So I try to do both. But yeah, it has made me think of, maybe I should change some things, or should I make my profile private so people can't, go to it? I've thought about that. And then I've thought, is this really worth it? You have that thought of, you get all these comments and sometimes backlash, and you go, is it really worth it to be on here?
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
Well, and that
And I struggled with that for a little bit.
I just find that incredibly sad. I find it incredibly sad that somebody would be in a position where they were questioning what sort of messaging or creative output they're putting into the world because of how some uneducated and uncivilized individuals on that platform are reacting to it. So I find it really sad that you actually did. I was hoping you were going to tell me, no, I'm going to do my own thing, and
Well, I
people are
mean, it's
what they are,
honest.
and that's
Yeah.
exactly it. But it's sad that you've had at least considered having to change the way you do things. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it is. But it's an honest reaction. You kind of get that feeling of, it's like an inner struggle
Yeah,
a
no,
little bit. Because on one hand, you want to be like, you know what? I don't care what they say. I don't care what they write me. I'm just going to do whatever I feel like doing.
yeah,
But then you also have that side where it's like, well,
yeah,
do I really want to put up with this?
no. Exactly. No, I think it's a really valid point, but well, that's bizarre. So I guess, and I'm not asking you to like be like the expert on this, but like, what if there's other sisters of the leaf, or females that are maybe interested in cigars, or not just even cigars, I mean just in general, other women that are on Instagram or any of these platforms that maybe are dealing with similar situations. I mean, like, what advice or tips or anything do you have for these people? Because I mean, I'm sure everybody's got their method of dealing with them. It sounds like yours is just, block them as they come. But, like, I mean, anything else?
Well, I always say first that don't take it personally. It's very hard not to do, but don't take these messages to heart. Let it roll off your shoulders. It took me a while to learn that, honestly. And there's so many women coming up in the cigar industry,
Yeah.
but I feel like there's a little bit of a lag with that because I feel like sometimes you can either go in one direction or go in another direction. Where are the women in the middle that just like smoking cigars, hanging out at their local lounge, and just relaxing with their families? Where are those groups? I think that group hasn't emerged yet very much.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does.
I feel like we have some that, are in the cigar industry already, who are very prevalent. We have those on the other side who may be doing those, maybe racier pictures or whatever on that side. And then there's this little group in the middle.
Yeah.
I think.
And it may not necessarily be a little group. It's just for whatever
It could
reason,
be a big group.
It's a very silent group.
It is. And I want that group to come out more because honestly, we need that group to come out more. Because that's the group that maybe a little bit, it's like the everyday woman who just likes cigars. Really, that's what that group in the middle is. And we want them to come out. And I don't want them to be fearful of, well, what am I going to get from this? Am I going to get backlash from this? I've gotten messages where it's, insulting that I am smoking cigars. And then they go on to another factor of even just talking about your physical appearance of you need to lose weight. You need to do your makeup differently. You have a big head.
Oh my gosh.
The comments like that just kind of make you go, really? And we don't want that to affect those women from entering the cigar world. If that makes sense. I don't want that fear put in. So honestly, what they need to do is they need to not take it personal. They need to let it roll off the shoulders. Block them. Just block them. Be done with it. So you don't have to see it anymore. Yeah, your block list might be pretty high, but you don't have to deal with it anymore.
Is there a way to report them to Instagram?
There is. There's a button that you can hit on Instagram that says report, which I've had to do before.
Yeah.
Just so that they're aware of what's going on, because you might block somebody and then all of a sudden another account pops up and they start messaging you again.
Oh.
So you need to be able to learn Instagram's rules, of course, and regulations about how to handle things. And you know what, you need to stand up for yourself. If you don't like something, tell them that you don't like it and then block it.
Yeah.
And then be done with it.
It's like I said, I found it to be a very, I don't know. It's just kind of depressing to think that, there'd be some savages out there. And I would hope that you probably get maybe more positive interaction than negative, but I would hope that, but
I do.
Okay,
there's definitely more positive, but you know what? It's like in everyday life, sometimes those certain comments can really just not ruin your day, but can really put a damper on things.
Yeah,
and that's not what we want.
Well, it's kind of like when you go to a restaurant, and if you have a good experience, you might tell like 7 people, hey, I had a really good time there. But if you had a bad experience, you're telling like 70 people, and you're saying that place freaking sucked. So it's like, for whatever reason, the negative experiences, the negative comments in this case, tend to just float up to the top and outshine all of the positive that you receive. So yeah, that's really sad, but
but it's life. You just gotta learn to roll with it and just hope for the best and hope that you're reaching out to, the people that aren't, sending out those messages to others and just making new friendships and connections. That's what it's all about.
Well, I'm sure if any women are getting asked by any, Neanderthal guys for pictures of their boobs, I can get them a picture of Gator's man boobs, and we would be more than happy to provide that for any of our Sisters of the Leaf that want to forward that to any Neanderthals that are asking for boob pictures. So that'll be a public service that the Cigar Pulpit offers is a standard image of Jeff's man boobs that we can share with any deviant
You need
guys.
to write that as a post.
Yes, I will. We can do that, and we will make that happen. So
that'd be funny.
Yeah. So, well, real quick before we get going, I wanted to touch on one very positive thing that you are doing. So you have joined the team over at Cigar Talk as a reviewer.
Yes, it's very recent. This all happened like this week.
Wow.
So it is very fresh. It's exciting. It's, something I honestly didn't know at first that I would get into doing cigar reviews, because that wasn't my main objective. But when I was approached and I was thinking about it, I said, you know what? Why not? Let's do it.
Okay.
And that's just how it started.
So I just saw it come up recently. So you just put up a review of the, it was the Oliva Master Blends 3, correct?
I did. Yep.
Was that your first review?
That was.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, man.
So,
yeah.
Oh, man. First one out the gate. So
and that's like the nervous one. That's the one you have to read several times.
Tell me about
before you're like, I wonder if this is good.
Tell me about it.
You just let it out there.
So, I mean, I own a newspaper, and so every edition I put out, I always inevitably have somebody point out an error to me. And I've gotten to the point that I just joke with them and say, "Well, you win the prize for find the mistake this week," And it's like
exactly.
It's like I just put one in every week just to see if anybody's gonna find it, and that sort of thing. And in reality, no, it's not that. It's
like a hidden quest,
dude. It's like on our end, putting out a newspaper every week. It's like we're putting out a small novel every single week. And that's a lot of words to be putting out. But in your case, with the reviews, it's the same thing. When you're generating content over time, things are going to happen. Autocorrect happens, and spell check will verify that everything is spelled correctly, but maybe you use...
But it may not be.
The wrong... Well, it may be one of those things. Like we had one in my paper this past week. Somebody said Merry Christmas. Well, they said Marry. Well, technically, that is a correct spelling of the word marry, but it's in terms of marriage and not actually like Merry
See, if it was
Christmas.
Only in quotes, then you might have passed it off.
But so what I'm telling you as one writer to another, don't freak out about it. And you're even better. You're online. If you find an error, you can fix it in seconds. Whereas me, I'm in print, so it's wrong.
Yeah, that's a quick message going, fix this.
It's please. Wrong forever in my world. So yeah,
exactly.
But no. So that's what. You're gonna do like
a weekly review.
Weekly reviews for them. Okay, just one.
I'll probably start with one a week.
I was just
is what we talked about.
Okay.
Yep, and then I was told probably after about 3 or 4 reviews, then I'm gonna do a spot on their podcast, do like a guest spot. Kind of like introduce myself, talk about cigars, and then, still do the weekly reviews. Who knows where we'll go from there? I don't know. We're just winging it.
Well, Rob, don't get upset that I got her first. I asked her a while ago,
but we knew each other first. So
This is true.
Yep.
Actually, you know what's kind of sad? Circling back to our previous part of our conversation, one of the first things that you said to me in person was at the Kentucky Barn Smoke. You walked up to me, and I think you guys had just gotten your food, and I was walking back to the lunch, and you told me that a guy had grabbed your ass.
Yep, that was accurate.
And
I was holding 2 plates of food. What was I supposed to do?
Well, yeah.
I like to eat. So, of course, I had 2 plates of food, and I don't have any hands free.
You throw the plates of food at the guy is what you do. But anyway,
Well, but then I thought, my food.
Well, no, that's true. You don't want to. And that was good food, too. You don't want to waste that.
That was so good food.
I was amazed at how good that was, considering it was set up in a buffet line outside at a barn in like hot plates with the little like flame, eternal flame things underneath it. I'm just like, I'm shocked at how good this was. And
then more props to the guys that set that up.
Hell yeah.
Over there at Drew Estate. I was like, this was like awesome. And there's a ton of people to feed. There's a whole busy day worth of stuff. And it was just awesome.
It was ridiculously good. And that Dr. Pepper sauce.
Oh, man.
That Dr. Pepper barbecue sauce, I got it. I just got a little bit of it because I'm not, I'm kind of like, I know my sauces, and that was like, oh, I don't know this one, and
Yeah.
but I just got a little bit of it, and oh God, I wish I had more.
Then you regretted it.
I regret it. Well, and that's the problem is then I'd sat down, and by the time I'd sat down, it's like, oh, it's all the way over there, and there's so many people in the way, and I'd have to climb over all these people to get over
Just
there.
so you can get your sauce.
And I was by myself, so I'm like, I got nobody to guard my chair. So I'm like,
See, you could have asked me. I would have guarded your chair.
you guys disappeared. You guys were coming back with your plates as I was going up, and I lost you guys in the.
I don't know how you could. I mean, we were right in the front. I mean, it was us, and we were sitting with Cigar Prop, Kevin, and then right across from like Bob the cigar guy, and stuff. So we were in the mix, but I don't know. I feel like I didn't sit down hardly at all. I was just like up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. There was so much to see, and honestly, I can't wait for next year because I'm gonna try my best to hit them all.
All of the what?
Barn smokers.
Oh God, yeah. That's a little. It's a little more traveling than I can pull off. Oh my God, I've got so many people asking me to come all these other different places. I mean, if I tried to make it everywhere that I've been invited, I mean, I'm literally coast to coast at this point. So
yeah,
I'm gonna have to try and figure out some sort of traveling segment. But yeah, it's gonna
get everywhere.
I'm trying.
I know.
Well,
it's so much.
Well, folks, I'm going to have to set up a Patreon just so you can start to pay me so that I can travel to come and see you if this
is yeah, because it's not cheap,
no.
First of all. But there's so many of them. Like, I want to go out to Vegas. I want to go to Vegas.
I'm going to Vegas in January.
I don't want to hear.
I am going to the TPE at the end of January. I got approved for media credentials. So
my head's shaking over here because, I'm just like.
I am just so excited. I actually just bought my plane ticket today.
Super jealous.
Just bought my plane ticket today. I'll be booking my hotel room after I get a little bit of Christmas cash. So.
And you're going to miss the lovely winter up here?
I'm going to miss
it. Go to Vegas.
I'm going to miss at least 5 days of it because I'll be in Vegas for 5 days.
But knowing your luck, you'll have a big snowstorm.
Yeah, no joke. Happy. It'll be the freak snowstorm that hits Las Vegas at the end of January. It's like they're all expecting 70.
Why?
Oh, God. Yeah. I'm waiting, though, because, man, the last time I was out there, it was in April, and it's like hitting 70 degrees at night. I'm sitting outside.
See, I've never been.
You've never been to Las Vegas? Oh my God. It is the best
I'm so upset by this. Because I've never been. I feel like I've been everywhere else.
I love that. Love that town so much. But let me tell you, everything that I've been told about the Big Smoke is that it's kind of a little on the expensive side.
Mm-hmm.
And that, it's fun, but it's kind of like, okay, so like, you know how at Drew Estate at the Barn Smoke, they gave us that little ticket book thing, and we had to go around to different places. So it was almost like a scavenger hunt
I like.
Or trick or treat. That's probably a better way of putting it. It was like trick or treat, to go and get your cigars. You say that.
I'm going to bring a brag, like a bucket next.
Yeah, bring your Halloween bucket and be like, trick or treat. But anyway.
I'll take Forrest's Iron Man bucket.
And so anyway, so it's kind of like that. Whereas, like, I went to the Kansas City Cigar Fest in September. Mm-hmm. And what was awesome there was when you walk in when you go to check in, they give you your bag and it has like all of your cigars already in the bag. You don't have to go anywhere to get anything. You just, here's your bag, go in. And what was fantastic about that was I didn't have to wait in any lines. I didn't have to stand around and wait in line while everybody in front of me got their cigars so that I could walk up and give them a piece of paper and get my cigar. I was able to just find a seat, sit down, and start smoking right away. And that's what I've heard about the Big Smoke in Las Vegas is that it's a really nice event, but that you spend a lot of your time waiting in line to get your cigars, whereas if they would just give you the bag with all the cigars in it right when you walk in, you could really enjoy the event a lot more and have more time to sit, smoke, mingle, talk, do whatever. So
see, and I'm really impatient. So for me, that's like torture.
Oh.
You can like, when you're standing there and it's like, I hate to say this, but it's like being in line at at like the grocery store and somebody's checking out and they just want to have a conversation
Well, and they get
with
out
the
the checkbook
cashier.
to start writing out their
Yes,
check
about their
instead of
day. And you're sitting there going, hello, like we don't have time,
Oh,
like time for this.
that's kind of what I was thinking
Uh,
at the. Well, see, and I had just been to the Kansas City thing at the beginning of September, and then it was the beginning of October that you and I and everybody we were all at the Kentucky Bar and Smoke, and so I had just maybe within the month been to one event where they just hand you all the cigars and say, okay, go for it, and then I come to the Bar and Smoke where I'm given this little ticket book and told, okay, go find your cigars. And I'm like, well, where in the hell am I supposed to? I mean, it was like, well, you could have just given them all to me and I could have just saved myself the time and trouble,
yeah.
but I don't know, whatever. I mean,
But see, that's why you have to kind of make a game of it. It's like, okay, we're going to go to this booth, but then we're going to go to the drinking booth.
Yeah.
Grab a drink and then mingle around and then go to the next
see,
booth.
And that's the thing. I didn't realize all the intricacies to it. So
you should have been hanging out with us mingling. That's what the problem
was. I should have. So, well, Jamie, I appreciate your time and I wish you very good luck with the reviews.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for having me on.
No problem. If you ever want to come on again, you know how to find me.
Of course. Thank you.
And where can people find you on Instagram and wherever else? And only decent people follow her. If you're going to send a dick pic, just don't bother. So anyway.
It's going to be deleted and blocked.
You're going to be deleted and blocked. So.
On Instagram, I'm Cigar Eyes 717. That's the easiest place to find me on there.
Perfect.
And I'm on Facebook also, but that's under my name, Jamie Stevens.
And is that cigar-related content, or is that more like
I have both.
Personal?
Okay. I have both.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. Well, very cool. Well, thank you, Jamie.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.
Bye. So I really want to thank Jamie for taking some time out today to talk to us and everything.
That was really cool. Some good points.
Yeah. I mean, dude, just don't be a deviant, Just because a pretty girl puts up a picture.
You're talking directly to me, aren't you?
Well, no, I was talking to the
deviants?
The general folks on Instagram.
The deviants in general.
But, I mean, I guess it applies to you. It's one of those things, if a pretty girl puts up a picture on Instagram and you think she's pretty in it, that's not an invitation to take a picture of your dick and send it to her.
I've never found it to be. Let's put it that way.
No. So, I mean.
I do want to say that I thought that's really neat. She's doing some reviews for Cigar Talk.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of those things. Those guys have been really, really good to us. And I know we kind of, I guess in some ways are competitors with the podcast. But it's really not like that. It's almost like a camaraderie.
Well, yeah.
A brotherhood.
Because we don't feel as though we're competitors. I mean, at the end of the day, there's 24 hours in a day. And even if we were putting together daily shows, which neither one of us are, we're only putting together maybe 2.5 hours a week. They're putting together maybe 1.5 hours a week. That still leaves an awfully long time.
Oh, yeah.
In the week to enjoy other cigar-related stuff. And so why should we be competing with one another when it's not like it's not an all or nothing deal. It's not
exactly.
It's not a zero-sum game.
It's not like we're two morning shows in St. Louis competing for the same listener.
Literally in the same time slot, and you have to watch at this point or listen at this point, and that's that.
So, before we get back to the top 10 from Cigar Aficionado,
yes,
because we've already covered 25 through 11.
Yes.
What are you getting on the cigar?
Well, I'm not as far along as you are.
I'm halfway through this thing.
So I'll admit, in the very beginning, I had a little bit of a canoeing issue developing really rapidly right from the start. So I started smoking it a lot slower to try and let it kind of correct itself.
You're not even
naturally.
You're just now into the second third.
I'm just now into the second third.
Yeah, I'm halfway through or better.
I did slow down the smoking. Now it did correct itself. So it's a nice tight burn line going at this point.
Yeah.
And so I'm happy about that. It is a box press. It's a little more boxy than I would like, but
you know what? They
whatever.
Don't roll off of a table on you. And I like that. I happen to like a box press. I don't know. I don't know what you have against it necessarily. It's still a cigar. It's just been formed into more of a, rectangle.
Yeah.
Rectangle. Yeah.
You getting your geometry mixed up there?
Oh, God. Do you have any? I went to Trico High School in Southern Illinois. I don't know geometry.
Oh, that's funny. No, I'm still getting the chocolate and kind of, you're saying nutmeg.
I'm getting
maybe a little bit of a wood, sort of wood kind of.
Yep, I get that too.
Kind of flavor. It's a nutty kind of thing, but more of a hearty nut that would have maybe a little bit more of a wood kind of flavor.
You know what? Now that you said that, it's got almost like a hazelnut finish to it.
Well, there you go. Which might be mixed with. It's like a Nutella cigar.
Ooh.
Chocolate hazelnut.
On my farm in Southern Illinois, and back to me with my road fruit that you made fun of me mercilessly for a couple of podcasts back. I actually have hazelnuts that grow wild on the farm.
Do you pull over and eat those too?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I picked those. I grew up picking up black walnuts and picking them out, and hickory nuts. And we actually didn't find the hazelnuts till late in the game. My dad tracked them down maybe 8-9 years ago.
Well, there you go.
He found them growing in the creek bottom.
Well, there just should have been a ton of them at that point.
Well, they're small. They're not like the commercial ones, that you'd buy. But they're a smaller wild hazelnut, and they're actually really, really good.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So
back to the top 10.
So coming in at number 10 is a cigar that I have smoked and I did enjoy, which is the H. Upmann 175th Anniversary Churchill.
Ooh.
That was a good cigar.
Yeah.
I did like that. Coming in at number 9, we have the Tatuaje Nuevitas. The Tatuaje Nuevitas.
It's an Opus X, correct?
Jabaro, number 1. No, that's not an Opus X.
Oh, wait, I'm looking at the wrong one.
Yeah, you're looking at number 8.
Oh, sorry, let's do that again then.
No. You're looking at number 8,
ahead.
Which is the Fuente Opus X Reserva de Chateau. Of course you're stepping ahead. You always step ahead.
I'm looking over your shoulder. I can't see the numbers from this angle.
So he's just like,
I've had the Opus X.
Out.
That's a good cigar.
Oh, my.
Those are good cigars.
I don't know if I've had an Opus X.
You really haven't?
I don't know if I have.
Well, that may be what I have to get you for Christmas, because I haven't bought you a gift yet.
I have your gift. I'll give you that here in a minute.
Ooh.
So
now I'm all at Twitter.
Number 7, we have the Illusion Esperne 10th Anniversary de Asta.
I haven't touched that one.
I'm not familiar, and I know I've just butchered some of those words. So
we got to brush up on our Spanish, or as Nick calls it, Latin.
La basura. Biblioteca.
What the hell?
Chimichanga.
Oh, my God. Could we be any more white?
Coming up in number 6 is the Oliva Serie V Lancero.
Ooh.
They like the Lanceros.
They do.
This is like at least the second Lancero that's been on this list. So
Nick likes something a little more girthy in his mouth.
Yeah, the Lanceros just don't do it for me. You're such a dick.
Moving along.
Number 5, the Rocky Patel ALR Second Edition Toro.
I've had Rocky Patel. I have not had that cigar.
I have not had the ALR.
Nope.
I did. What did I have recently of his? I think it was the number 6. That was okay. It was all right.
Ringing endorsement from the bishop there. It was okay.
I'm going to say this, and this is not going to be like...
Scratch off another potential sponsor?
No, I mean... Look, Rocky Patel has a lot of cigars in his line.
They do, yeah.
And I'm sure there's one that when I smoke it, I'm going to be like, holy crap, that's the one.
Yeah.
I haven't found it yet.
Yeah, fair enough.
They're not bad cigars. They're just not ones that I'm like, that blew my
and
mind.
they're not even on this list that I know of, because we've got 3 more to go here, and we've already talked about number 1, so we've got 4, 3, and 2. But Perdomo is a line that I haven't found a bad cigar.
Perdomo is not on this list this year.
And I haven't found a bad cigar from Perdomo that I've ever smoked.
Yeah, I know. Even their, like, quote-unquote budget cigars and whatnot.
Their budget cigars are what I like.
I know.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Well, number 4, you have the Cohiba Robusto. And I believe that is a Cuban.
I do like a Cohiba from time to time. Although I can honestly say I've never had a Cuban
That is indeed a Cuban Cohiba that is on the list. So, there's one right there that you and I are going to have trouble tracking down.
Yes, that is true.
And smoking.
I can find
and probably
Cohiba.
Even affording because, you get an authentic Cuban Cohiba.
Yeah.
It's that mystique. It's that brand for whatever reason. Because it's Cohiba.
We are journalists, though. We could bring some back.
They just charge so much. I'm not paying $80 for a cigar, man.
Oh God, no.
I mean, like here, does it say?
What's our price point?
Let me see if Cigar Aficionado says the price point in the details of the cigar. I'm mildly curious to see if they do that. $34.30, but that's in pounds. So what is that? What is the conversion?
I can't translate Celsius to Fahrenheit. How am I going to do that? Let me take a guess. It's $23 American. Is it in euro? Are there even still pounds?
Yes.
I thought Brexit.
No, England did not take part in the euro.
Okay. So their exit from the EU will not be that difficult for them since they didn't change the currency.
No. I mean, it's going to pose a problem for... When you convert, by the way, $34.30 in pounds sterling equals $44.63 in the United States.
I went the wrong way.
Yeah, that is
we're not smoking that
basically
cigar.
a $45 cigar.
Yeah, unless somebody gifts us one of those, that's not going to get put in my mouth.
Not going to happen. Nope. So,
anyway, moving along.
Number three is the Warped Series Gran Reserva 1988 Robusto.
Never seen that one.
Not one that I'm familiar with. And the number two is the Padron Series 1926, number 6.
You like Padron cigars.
Okay, so here's the deal. There's different levels of Padron cigars. So there's the regular, just brown label Padron cigars that you see out in stores, which, just the standard. So, like, I like the Padron 7000 because it's a 60 ring gauge. And I will even say this. It is a boxed press-ish cigar.
Okay.
It is a soft box press.
Okay.
So it's probably the closest you're going to find.
It's not a hard rectangle, is what you're saying.
Box press that I'll regularly smoke. In fact, I have one in my travel humidor in the car. But then there's the additional levels of Padron. Now this one, Cigar Aficionado is saying is a $14.40 stick. But you get into some of the higher level Padrones. And they're like $50 sticks, I'm sorry, and they're like $30 sticks. I'm not the kind of guy that spends that kind of money on a cigar regularly.
I am. Well, you know me. I'll smoke a quorum. I'll smoke a $2.50 cigar. I'll smoke some Perdomo. That are in the $6 to $10 range. I'll do the My Fathers that are $8 to $12. But that's really topping out for me. If I can't find a cigar I like for $10 or less, I'm probably not smoking it.
Well, and honestly for me too, what it really boils down to is I don't feel, and maybe I'm being too self-judging or whatever. I don't know how you want to describe it. I don't know. I'm butchering my words here, but maybe I'm judging myself too harshly, but I don't feel as though my palate is refined enough to be able to tell the difference between...
Are you afraid it's wasted on you?
Yeah, I don't know if my palate's refined enough for me to be able to tell the difference between the $10 Padron 7000 and the $30 higher end Padron.
Yeah.
That I'm just going to sit back and say, that's another Padron, you know? And I don't really want to spend that kind of money just to sit back and say...
Just to say you did.
I could have smoked the 7,000 and been perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I hate to say it, if I'm going to spend $30, I'll go buy 4 or 5 sticks instead of one.
Precisely.
Yeah. I'm more of a quantity guy when it comes to cigars.
Yeah, but anyway, that would be the Cigar Aficionado top 25 list.
And again, back to number 1 that we're smoking. What is that cigar again?
Number 1, we are currently smoking the Aging Room Quattro Nicaragua. Theirs was the Maestro, so we're just talking size at this point.
Yep.
Theirs is a 6x52. We went with a different size. Ours is the Espressivo.
It's a 5x50?
And it is a 5x50. Yep. We're in the ballpark
Yeah.
We're just off on the size.
Yeah.
So,
but essentially the same cigar.
Oh, it's the same cigar.
Yeah.
It's just, you can make the argument that with the different size, maybe the tobacco, like maybe there's more of the wrapper or something in a different size. So
now I'm down to the final third here. You're what, about halfway?
I'm about halfway.
Yeah, and I'm starting to get a little more spice coming in on it. I have done a couple more retro hails, and again I'm getting that like almost like a hazelnut coffee chocolate, nutmeg. I'm getting lots of different things that are hitting the palate.
Yeah.
Are you picking up on any of that?
I'm still getting the chocolate and the kind of nutty woody kind of thing. So I'll say it's a good cigar.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good cigar.
I think I like it more than you do.
It's a good cigar.
I do like it more than you do. I can see it on your face.
To say that it is the number one cigar of 2019, I mean, I'm struggling right now to sit and say this is another cigar that came out this year that I like better.
Yeah.
Especially given the fact that of that top 25 list that we just read over, I think I'm familiar with maybe just like a handful.
Yeah, I knew 4 or 5.
So that's the thing. It's hard for me to say, oh, this shouldn't be number one. And I don't want to say that because, obviously the folks at Aging Room, Rafael Nodal and AJ Fernandez and whatnot, they worked hard and they put out a cigar that, for what it's worth, Cigar Aficionado felt was the number one cigar of the year. Like I said, it's not a bad cigar by any means. It's a good cigar. I'm just not entirely sure it's the cigar I would have probably chosen for the number one.
Yeah.
But
now, are these 25? Are these cigars that have just been put out this year? How do they come to the list?
I'm pretty sure it's ones that have come out this year.
Okay.
I don't believe you can trot one out from like.
Well, what are we going to do? What are we going to do moving forward when you can't make a new cigar, which is coming?
Boy, that's a good question,
yeah.
isn't it?
Thank you,
FDA.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Why isn't the ATF over the cigars, not the FDA? Help me out there.
That's a good question too.
Yeah.
I think it's because maybe the ATF is a bit more of a. Well, I don't know. I don't know the finer points of the agencies. Obviously, the ATF is alcohol, tobacco, firearms, but I don't know how much of a regulatory role they play versus more of a law enforcement role.
Yeah.
Whereas the FDA is obviously more of a regulatory type thing. There's not like
I don't know where the overlap is.
FDA agents going out and like.
I bet there are
busting down doors.
I bet if we knew.
That's true, maybe.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. But yeah, for what it's worth, well, the FDA is what.
I'll tell you a couple of glaring ones to me. And again, these are the cigars I like to smoke. But again, you've got the Manuel Quesadas. That there's nothing on the list. You don't have anything for Oscar.
I'll tell you,
on the list.
The Superfly. The Superfly was one that I was waiting to see.
That's a good stick.
I was waiting to see the Superfly pop up on the list from somewhere, and it did pop up on a couple of lists. I believe it made the Cigar Journal list, but it did not make Cigar Aficionados, and I was a little disappointed, and I expected to see the Superfly pop up.
And I think you and I have kind of got to know Mr. Quesada, I'll say, and Oscar. But, these are great guys, and again, I love their product.
There's nothing by Christian Aro on the list.
No, there's not.
Robusto, he made the list with Aladino, which great. That's one that I believe was well deserved. But yeah, Christian didn't make the list with anything. And dude, that Aroa Dark.
Oh yeah,
that is a fantastic cigar. And
it's more your kind of stick than mine. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's a great stick, and it should have made the list.
Yeah,
So I don't know. There's a lot of cigars that. I don't know. I know Cigar Aficionado.
Perdomo on that list.
I know Cigar Aficionado. They deban the cigars. They smoke a shit ton of cigars.
Yeah.
They smoke them like they do rounds of this stuff where like they'll throw all these cigars down on the table and it's a panel. It's a group of people that do this. They throw the cigars down on the table. They smoke a bunch of them and then they start paring it down. and eventually get to that number one cigar. And I know that there's a lot of people that like to accuse Cigar Aficionado of playing favorites with advertisers, where they basically will award top awards to companies that buy advertisements from them.
Yeah. Which is always one of my gripes with our business in the newspaper industry when we do like the best of section.
Yes.
You know, let's be honest. There's got to be some advertising dollars kicked in to get on those lists. I've never quite agreed with that.
I will hope, and I will publicly say I hope that is not the case with Cigar Aficionado. I would hope that...
And we don't know that.
We don't know that.
Yeah.
And we're having to trust that they don't do that. But I will hope, and I will say that I would trust that they're not playing favorites. Because let's be real. E.P. Carrillo won last year. I don't think E.P. Carrillo was a big advertiser with Cigar Aficionado, at the time that they won. They've since, I know, purchased some advertising, but it's not like they're purchasing like 6 ads in an issue. They're getting like maybe like 1.
Yeah.
Now granted, the ads in Cigar Aficionado I don't believe are cheap.
No. There's some money being spent there.
But, they're doing what they're doing. So, I don't know. That's the list for this year.
Well, there you go. Let's do our ad for My Monthly Cigars.
So, yeah, we are sponsored. Our ad. We are sponsored by MyMonthlyCigars.com. So, MyMonthlyCigars.com is a premium cigar subscription service to where you can have a box of cigars shipped to your home every month. You have multiple box size options available to you, but the one we recommend is the Robusto box, which is 4 cigars for $30.
And as a rule, we smoke that on our Friday shows, although we will be smoking it next Tuesday as well.
It's true. That cigar, or that box, is our care package, and so what will happen is you'll get that cigar box for that month, and over the course of that month, we will be smoking those 4 cigars over 4 shows for that month, corresponding month.
If you do go on and you do make a purchase with them, put in offer code PULPIT, PULPIT.
And that'll get you 20% off any item in the store, or it will get you free shipping on your first subscription. And we would be remiss if we did not mention their MSRP guarantee, which basically states that the MSRP of the cigars within the box is equal to or greater than the cost of the box. So, like, for example, the December box, there were 4 cigars in the box. It's a $30 box, but the MSRP of those sticks added up to, I believe, about $45.
Yep. So, final thoughts on your stick there? The number one cigar, according to Cigar Aficionado.
So, it's good. Like I said, I like it. Yep. I would smoke it again. It's
very peppery at the end. I'm getting a lot of spice now.
Where I'm at with it, it's chocolate and some nut, but I will say that it probably is going to start picking up with the spice.
It did. Here's the end for me, yep.
And kind of what I'm starting to get. So I will say there's probably going to be some spice elements to it near the end.
So as we wrap up, We're
not wrapping up just yet.
Oh, we're not?
Oh, no.
No. Wait, well, let's...
So, folks, this is our last episode before Christmas, and...
Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas.
Even though Jeff's a savage and hasn't gone out and done any shopping yet.
No, I haven't. I shop on Christmas Eve.
I have get Jeff's Christmas gifts, and I just presented him with his Christmas gifts. Now, I've done a horrible wrapping job.
It's a Target bag.
It's 2 Target bags, actually. It's the one that it's in, and then I draped another one over so you can see right through.
Well, there you go.
Immediately what it is. But
so, before I open, how do people reach out to us on the socials?
So we are available on Instagram at The Cigar Pulpit. Additionally, Jeff has his own Instagram account that at some point he's going to log in and actually do stuff with.
I did log in. I liked a few pictures of people's.
There you go. Called Naked Gator, Nekkid Gator.
I did not make the name.
But it's appropriate for you.
It really is.
And then we're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and you can always email us at nick@cigarpulpit.com. Over the holiday, I plan on working on the website to where hopefully I'll have that up and running by January 1.
Populate that sucker. Plus, people can reach out and get our newsletter that's forthcoming.
Yes, that will be available on the website. However, if you want to sign up for the newsletter, now you can go over to our Facebook page, and there's a post pinned to the top of it with a MailChimp link. You can go on there, sign up, and be ready for when we finally launch that guy.
There you go. So I'm going to dig into my present now.
Dig into your present. Now, I got this for Jeff because he's always talked about this. And I've always really poo-pooed it. But I went ahead and figured, you know what, it's Christmas, and this is the time that we give what others want.
Ooh, Nick got some Dungeons & Dragons starter set.
Jeff
my God.
Has been for years.
I've been jonesing to play Dungeons & Dragons again. I haven't played for 30 years.
For years, you have been talking with me about, I want to play Dungeons & Dragons.
The
and I'm like, oh,
kit.
God, I don't want to do that.
Oh, we're doing this now. This is going to be a thing. Thank you, Nicholas. This was very, very nice.
But I saw those at Target, and basically it's
let me get the bags out of the way here.
Let me.
Okay, there we go.
God damn it.
Put those away.
Anyway, so there you go, bud. Now you can get your nerd on with your D&D.
I am so excited. We're going to have role play night. And not in the way everyone's thinking I just meant that.
Oh, God. Anyway. But I believe that has adventures for...
Oh, so excited.
So it's like, it takes a lot of the work
Are
out
you
of
going to be the dungeon master? Because I don't know how to do that.
I don't want to... I see. That was why this is the hesitation I had with giving you.
You knew this was a gift for you, essentially.
No, this is not a gift for me.
You're going to play it though, aren't you?
Yes, because that's the thing. This is what I was about to say. Is that I knew this was going to be the gift that was going to bite me in the ass. Because as soon as I gave it to you, you're going to be like, "Well, you're going to play with me, right?" And it's going to be like, shit! Now I got to play.
I always like it when Nick plays with me.
What the hell is wrong with you? God.
This is going to be so much fun. I'm so excited. You know, our friend Ange is going to weigh in on this. It's going to be Jess, our friend Jessica Holder, who is an avid listener to the podcast.
You know what I think we ought to do?
Here's
what I think we ought to do.
What's that?
I think we ought to take those.
Yeah.
Get the group together.
Oh, God. Mic up.
Go over to the hill one day, like right when they open. Sit out in the little... outside area there because they got the table. And we can play out there and smoke.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. We should mic up for it. We could do it live on the air.
Oh God,
that could be a show.
I do have 4 microphones.
See?
Do I have 4?
You have 4.
I did buy another one. I have 4 microphones.
You have at least 3 headsets and 1 extra mic.
No, I think I bought a 4th. I bought a 4th and final headset.
This is going to happen, folks. One of the episodes after the beginning of the year is going to be just us playing Dungeons & Dragons and smoking sticks.
Oh, God.
This is going to be great.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, I'm so excited. Well, this was very nice. Merry Christmas to me.
Merry Christmas,
I haven't bought you a gift yet.
Dude.
I gave you your birthday gift like 2 weeks late.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So does that mean I should expect my Christmas gift
sometime in February?
Yes. February.
Yeah,
okay.
Sometime in February.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. I don't want to just buy you something because, let's be honest, anything you need, you've already gotten.
It's true.
So, that was the thing when I found that cigar poster. I thought, this is something Nick doesn't have, and I don't think you'd seen it. Had you ever seen it pop up anywhere?
No, I hadn't
seen it. So, that was, and I can't remember the website that was off of. We talked about it in an earlier podcast.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But that's a cool poster.
It is.
It's a really neat poster, and it'll be some nice art on Nick's wall at his office. So this was very nice of you, buddy. I appreciate it.
Well, no problem, dude.
Aw. We're hugging later.
Oh, God.
Well, folks, seriously, to all the folks listening in the audience, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas, go enjoy time with your families, and if not, find a cigar store and go enjoy time with your buddies.
And I'll say this. If you are sitting around this Christmas season and having a cigar with your family outside, because I know if it's going to be anything like the temperatures here on Christmas Day.
We're looking at 60 degrees,
We're looking at 60 degrees on Christmas Day. So if it's going to be that warm wherever you're at in the country, light up a stick outside and tell them, hey, I've been listening to this one podcast with these 2 jackasses who, blah, blah, blah. And just share the love of the cigar pulpit for Christmas. We would really appreciate that.
That would be your gift back to us.
Yes.
Share the love.
Share the love. It happened over Thanksgiving.
It did.
We
really
have
did.
Evidence.
Yeah, we have a very noticeable bump in listenership from Thanksgiving, even carrying through to now.
So please do us a favor. Share the love of the Cigar Pulpit over the Christmas holiday. And
help us spread the good word of the stick.
And come back for 2020. Although, we're going to be back before 2020.
We will have one more show.
No,
we'll have two. We'll have Friday and we'll have Tuesday.
I'm saying, we're still Friday and Tuesday. We got 2 more shows before 2020.
Oh, we're not phoning in the holidays here, folks. No. It's our time to shine.
My newspaper? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say. It's funny.
Not the podcast.
It's funny you mentioned that. We actually got our newspaper assembled on Friday, and everything was good. And then all hell broke loose over the weekend, and we've had to just shred the paper, tear it apart, and remake it.
I'm really hoping that doesn't happen for me.
Yeah. Well, you're going to press tomorrow.
I am.
So you don't have much time for that.
Nope. But nonetheless.
Folks, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. This has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. Our Christmas sermon.
Yes.
This is where I need to pump in like Linus talking about the real meaning of Christmas.
You do.
I think I'd get a cease
Does he
and
mention
desist
cigars?
letter. No.
Charles Schultz isn't going to say anything.
No, but whoever the hell owns peanuts nowadays will.
Yeah. His family trust is going to come after us hard.
The fourth wise man showed up later. He was running behind, but he showed up with some premium cigars.
Box of Perdomos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, see? Love it. Yes.
He was running behind.
That's why you never hear about Joseph after the birth story.
Well, he was handing out Perdomos.
He went to the lounge.
Oh, my God. And this is why we go to hell. Right there.
There's a lot of reasons. Anyway, folks, this has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick. That's Gator. Merry Christmas and stay smoky.